This OnlyBulls Green Flag 150 and Focused Health 250 Betting Picks 2026 edition of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Kalshi. Make real money predicting sports. Kalshi is available in all 50 states, and you get $20 free with promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, promo code SGPN.
Driver, start your engine!
Strap in and pull those belts up tight as the Sports Gambling Podcast Network presents the NASCAR Gambling Podcast.
I'm just gonna put my foot on the floor and I'm not lifting till I see God or a checkered flag.
My man.
With all the news and the best bets for your NASCAR weekend.
We want to thank you tonight for these mighty machines that you brought before us. Thank you for the Dodges and the Toyotas. Thank you for the Fords. Lord, I want to thank you for my smoking hot wife tonight, Lisa. In Jesus' name, boogity, boogity, boogity.
Now, here are your hosts, Rod Villagomez and Cody Zeeb.
Welcome into another episode of the NASCAR Gambling Podcast here on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. He's Cody Zeeb. I'm Rod Villagomez, and today we waited them out, Cody. We did not give them the opportunity to disappoint us early. The books, we waited them out, and now we have Truck Series odds and O'Reilly Series odds for the races this weekend in two completely separate locations. This is a fun weekend where we get to watch the trucks take on the St. Petersburg, Florida track out there that the IndyCar usually takes on. And then, of course, the O'Reilly Series taking on the Circuit of the Americas, of which they are well acquainted. But yeah, Cody, an exciting weekend of racing and a great Saturday to boot.
Yeah, this is going to be a really fun Saturday doubleheader we get to watch. So, I'm super pumped for both of these races. They're interesting. St. Pete, it's a street course, so we don't really have any street courses to look at for trucks because they didn't go to Chicago. And so, but they are going to San Diego later on this year. So we do have this race where we'll maybe be able to take some stuff and implement it there later on. So that's kind of exciting. But yeah, looking forward to it. Though I will say, we've definitely had some shows in years past where we've had to slide to Thursday for these picks. So the books have been doing pretty good. They were out, multiple books. You got plenty of things to shop for, as we always say. Shop around because it is vastly different odds in different places, but pretty happy with the selection that we were given and feeling pretty good about these ones.
I'm feeling really good about these, especially given the fact that the Truck Series is a little bit easier, I think, for me to handicap than anything else, because I'm like, look, and the reason is this, right? The reason is this.
Because SVG and Zilisch aren't in it?
Well, 1,000%, and Corey Heim not in this one as well. But I think for me, it was easy because I didn't bog myself down in a ton of statistics, right? I didn't try to overthink it. I mean, that's you texted earlier that our truck pick, we're kind of falling by. We'll get there, but we fall behind Phil considerably because we overthink things. So I got out of my head and just said, who do I feel like is going to do well? Who has done well at road courses? And that's sort of how I handicapped this. I didn't try to go too deep into the analytics. I just said gut feelings on these ones. And it's a street course. We've never seen it before in the Truck Series. And I never have. I don't know if anybody else has, but definitely haven't seen it at St. Pete. So, yeah.
Yeah, I cannot recall a time that the Truck Series has gone street course racing. So I don't believe that that's been a thing. How sad is it, though? You mentioned Corey Heim not racing this weekend. I mean, after the season he had last year in the Truck Series, the reigning Truck Series champion, he's the next hop. We don't have him in any car this weekend in any of the three series. It's just,
you would think,
what a what a fumble. Like the way that, and I don't even know who to, well, I think we might know who to blame. Probably Ty Gibbs. But outside of him, like Toyota, I mean, it might be on Toyota more than Gibbs, because yeah, Gibbs can keep him out of the Gibbs seats fine, but Toyota has other options and other places to put him. How is he not racing anywhere? Especially he won, shockingly, because he won everywhere, right? But he won road courses last year in the Truck Series, so you're just not going to have him out there, not getting any laps, not getting any nothing. He's just sitting at home this weekend. That's how disappointing. Really, it's kind of sad.
Yeah, and I wish, because now I picked up the controllers again and started playing the NASCAR Heat 4 one more time. It's like, why don't you just start your own team, right? Then you can race however you want, and Mountain Dew can be your sponsor, and then Jimmy Johnson can tell you that you're his favorite driver in the entire world. Like, that's the kind of world you want to live in. But for Corey Heim, yeah, how is he just not racing when there's other guys out there that you could easily swap him out for in all three series? To be honest with you, it's like, it doesn't even matter at this point. Just put him in a car, put him in a truck, put him in a tricycle. I don't care.
Yeah, one, and yeah, with this St. Pete opportunity, how do you, like, I get you have Franchitti in the one, that's fine. Tricon has other trucks, Toyota has other trucks, put him in the extra Friesen truck or something. I mean, getting an opportunity to race a street course when we have things like San Diego where we might be going to, or a different street course going forward in the Cup Series. Like, I don't know. It's crazy to me that he's not. But we might have found out some info today, Rod, after your little ad read here that exemplifies why maybe he's not racing this weekend.
You know me all too well. Got to plug the SGPN app. It is free in your app store. You get all of our free picks and our podcast in one easy place. Just go to whatever app store you got in there and type in SGPN. It'll pop up. You see us. You see everybody else that's in the network, including the big show and all the fun stuff that happens in the SGPN world. So go get that app and thank me later. All right. So what is it, Cody? What is the intrigue that is keeping?
Well, Chris Gabehart filed his part of the injunction deal, which, by the way, there is going to be a hearing on Friday. So, we talked yesterday. Gibbs filed for a temporary injunction to basically stop Gabehart from working for Spire for 18 months. This has been a whole interesting thing, but some of the highlights, according to Bob Pockris, from the declaration filed and why the injunction should be denied, claims his role at JGR was undermined because Ty Gibbs was managed directly by Coach Gibbs. Ty Gibbs not being held accountable. He didn't give confidential info to anyone. That Spire folder was just to evaluate the job offer. There's a lot of stuff in this whole thing, but kind of the biggest thing is that, and that's kind of been the rumor, that Ty Gibbs isn't held to the same level as the other drivers. And yes, so
Color me shocked, Cody. This is breaking news, as Abe Schmidt is saying right now. No,
by the way, Abe Schmidt in our fantasy leagues goes by Jeff Cluck, and as you can see, his logo looks like Jeff Gluck, but it's a chicken. That's a great name. I wanted to give you a shout out for that. But yeah, I mean, it's sad to hear it because Ty Gibbs, we know, is extremely talented. I know it hasn't worked out. I know that there's debate on where it'll go, if it'll go somewhere, but the talent is there. We've seen it. But if he's not being held, and it clearly seems that way from multiple reports, this included, that he's not being held to the same standard as the other drivers, that's sad. And you look at an organization like Gibbs and how big and powerful and great it is, right? We look at the top, we look at the levels of NASCAR, and it's Hendrick Gibbs right here at 1, then Penske, then you got your other teams, right? But I think that's pretty well established pecking order. They're at the very top alongside Hendrick, and they have a talented core of race car drivers over there. Denny Hamlin, Christopher Bell, Chase Briscoe. I mean, 3 elite drivers. But if you're not treating everybody well over there, or he's getting the special treatment that these guys aren't getting, he doesn't have to show up to the meetings they have to show up to, stuff like that, that's not going to be good for team morale, and that's going to crumble somewhere down the line. And we know Coach is getting older, right? And eventually Heather, Ty's mother, is going to take over. Unfortunately, both of Joe's sons have passed and they're no longer with us. So Heather has been left to be the one in charge, and Heather and Ty are going to be running the show. And that scares me for the future of JGR. And I hope that they figure out, like, we have to treat him the same as we do everybody else, and he should be held accountable, and he should be, I get he's going to have less standards as far as keeping his ride because his name is on the building, and that I think is acceptable, but still, if everybody else is expected to be at the 8 a.m. meeting, you need to be at the 8 a.m. Stuff like that. Boy, it scares me for the future of Gibbs.
I have had this conversation, and I won't get too deep in the weeds with it because I don't. This is not the time or the place for it. However, I will make it abbreviated in that I tell my daughter all the time, because she's a leader. She's a leader in her band. She's a leader in the way she approaches things. And I tell her, leaders don't say things, leaders do things. And the people that are underneath you watch the things that leaders do. If your name is on the marquee, you need to be the example. You need to be 30 minutes early to a meeting, right? To a 15-minute early meeting. You can't be 5 minutes late. You can't use your power to slack off or to do things half-assed. You have to be the example. You don't have to say that you're the example. You just be the example. And that's the problem where we're letting, and here I am again, shaking my fist at the clouds. We're just letting people think that you can be young and free and frivolous and stupid, and that's fine. Make your mistakes, have fun, do anything like that. But if you really stop and think about it, you need to approach your life as if people are watching you all the time, which, by the way, in this day and age, people are watching you all the time, right? There's cameras all over the place. There's phones that get whipped out. You do something wrong. Literally just be a good person. That's all it takes in this world anymore. And I just feel like that's not happening, and it's not being taught, and you're starting to see it in instances like this. And that's why I think it just, the world would be a better place. That's all I'm saying, right? That's all.
Well, and then you look big picture wise. I mean, if they have lost out on the opportunity to have Corey Heim race for their team, which seems to be the case, right? He was a Toyota guy. You're coming up through the pipeline. We know Denny's not going to be around forever. You could easily make a transition plan there, right? He could be running OReilly in one of the JGR cars this year, maybe a little bit more next year. And Denny's final year of his contract, boom, you slap him in the 11 car, succession plan perfect. Now you look at the lineup you have with these four guys, right? And instead, 2311 has been like, well, nobody's going to buy this guy? Well, we'll take this, right? And so, and credit to Denny and Michael for taking advantage of it. And he's going to be on their team, but now he's not going to be on the Gibbs team. And so you've missed out on that big opportunity for what seems to be a potential superstar based on what we've seen from him. It just, I don't know. The whole thing is a bit mind-boggling and sad that they've let the personal issues or whatever bleed into the business too much. I get working with family is tough, that type of thing. Ty's under a lot of pressure, certainly, because it is his name on the building, right? So there is that extra pressure to live up to it. But then if you're also letting it affect other things like this Chris Gabehart deal, I mean, you lose a great mind, a great leader in Gabehart because of, according to Gabehart's filings, because of Ty. That is the sole reason he's not at JGR anymore. All the rumors and things we hear is that's why Heim has never been in the JGR OReilly or Xfinity cars last year, and why he isn't with the team for the future. So yeah, we've probably spent too much time on it, but sad deal, I guess.
We have 11 truck, 11 car. Kind of makes a little more sense. Let's check in with the chat real quick before we head to break. TK saying Bell is Mr. Yes, sir. Briscoe's just happy to be there. Denny is a legacy driver. I can't really fault any of that. Tommy Lipschitz saying too much apple juice. He sees 3 Codys. Tommy, I want to say that I've had too much apple juice that I'm starting to rant and rave, but that's not the case. JDK saying evening fellas. Hunter saying he feels bad for him. Only one open car, and that's for love. Yeah, that's definitely not fun. Cousin Danny does not like Ty Gibbs after going after Hocevar.
You can't fault him there.
Yeah, well, that's true too. And then he's also saying that he's more perplexed that there's no Catherine Legg.
Yeah, she would have been great in the truck race this week. I mean, we got Andretti coming over. We got Franchitti. We'll talk about these guys here in a few, but yeah, Catherine Legg would have been great in a truck or even OReilly car or Cup for that matter. Would love to see her back, but unfortunately not this week.
Not this week. Andrew saying, I bet Gio outright for trucks 10-1. A lot of drivers in the race don't know much about. We We'll fix that.
Yeah, we'll fill you in. And we'll talk about Gio a little bit in a bit.
We certainly will. And we'll do all of that on the other side of this break as we set up the first ever truck race from the St. Pete Grand Prix of St. Pete. But first, let me tell you about our friends over at Kalshi. Kalshi, a real money prediction market legal in all 50 states. Kalshi has tons of trading options for your favorite sports. Besides sports, they got tons of other markets, including politics, entertainment, health. You can even trade on the weather with Kalshi. You can trade anything. Like I said earlier, I love that in the discourse, my alien invasion, will they reveal aliens are involved, it is coming up in the conversation out there. But I'm going to take you towards Survivor, premiering tonight. Do you think that Charlie Davis is finally going to get his revenge and actually win this and not watch one of his best friend wins? Well, if you do, then you have the yes, and that's 2 cents on the yes. That $20 investment that we're going to give you for free gives you $1,000 if Charlie ends up becoming the sole survivor at the end of this monumental season 50. New Kalshi customers get $20 when they use promo code SGPN. That's Kalshi, Kalshi, promo code SGPN. Rhythm has been on a heater for college football and the NBA picks. Super easy to sign up, run predictions off the house model, or make your own and play with the sliders. Rhythm works really well with Kalshi too, sending our predictions to the prediction app. If you're looking to go premium, use promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off of your first month. Download Rhythm, use promo code SGPN25. You nailed it though, Cody, when you said that if because there was a post in there that said reasons why SVG won't win the race this weekend, and one of them was that aliens come back and I cash my Kalshi investment, and you're like, I'd be sitting on the porch telling everybody that I was right, and I would too.
Yes. Yeah, we had a very spirited debate this morning about why SVG is going to win the Cup race on Sunday, and Wreck-It Ross was, giving the reasons why he might not. 5% chance that there's a mechanical issue, 5% chance that somebody wrecks him, 15% chance that aliens come back, and Rod's Kalshi prediction is right, and then so it's lighthearted over there. We love it.
Beautiful stuff. All right, is it time to talk trucks, Cody?
It's time to talk. Yeah, whatever you said, we'll do it.
It's time to talk. It's just time to talk. All right,
yeah, clearly I'm good at that.
You absolutely are. At the St. Petersburg, the Grand Prix at St. Pete in St. Petersburg, Florida, for this OnlyBulls Green Flag 150. We are set for 80 laps around this track. It is 1.800 miles. This, again, is a course that the trucks have never participated in before. It is around the streets of St. Petersburg. There are 14 turns in this one with a rather lengthy back straightaway that takes you from 14 to 1. A little technical corners between 4 and 9, I guess as we'll call it. Some sweeping turns between 10, 11, and then a little hairpin at 13, 14. We've watched IndyCar race this before. We've seen IndyCar open the season here before, which they'll do again this week. But Truck Series, I feel like this is going to be a lot of fun for them. Non-competitive pit stops for these guys in the Truck Series as well. So that means that they're going to pull in. Everybody's going to pull out where they came in for the pits, and then they'll go right back at it. So there's really no strategy involved in pit stopping. So it's all stop when everybody else stops and go when everybody else goes, Cody. But this will be fun.
Well, sort of, Rod. So as far as the pit stop rules go, it is non-competitive pit stops. And here are the rules according to Bob Pockris. Fuel and tires may be added and changed at any time. But if you make a pit stop under the green or yellow, you have to be on pit road for 65 seconds. We've seen this before where essentially they're making it a very long. So you could have your all-star pit crew in there. They change tires and gas it up, but you have to be on pit road 65 seconds no matter what to account for the teams that aren't. Obviously, if you don't follow it that closely, the truck and OReilly teams are pitted a lot of the times by Cup guys. There's a lot that come down certainly, or OReilly and trucks for sure share a lot with OReilly racing on the same day in Texas, these guys racing on the same day in Florida, and there's a lot of safety stuff to having other guys. We saw a guy get hit last week in the OReilly race, right? And if you have people running out there that aren't used to it or whatever. So you do have the option to pit under green or yellow. So strategy could come into play there, because if you determine, we've got a big enough lead here, we're not going to go lapped, or we can quickly get our lap back or whatever, then we don't have to pit when everybody pits under the red. that's fine. So stage breaks will be a 3-minute break for all the teams. You don't lose a spot on pit road except to the teams that don't pit. So end of the stage, basically going to red flag the race. Everybody's allowed to go down pit road for 3 minutes to change stuff, make adjustments, whatever they need to do. But if you don't pit, you stay out, you will move up. If you do pit, if you come in first, you go back out first. You come in 15th, you go back out 15th. You won't be changing positions on there. So that's how the pit stop rules will work for this weekend at St. Pete, Rob.
I always, in my mind, when you do these 3-minute pit stops, think of the guy in Talladega Nights who just goes over to the snack shop and grabs himself a burger or something like that. He's just eating and chilling and getting ready while everybody's working on the car, and then slides back in again. But
it's like the old school pit stops. You come in, you get a hot dog, have a cigarette. They change the stuff for you. You jump back in and take back off.
That's like when you get your oil change. You stop out, grab a burger, grab a cigarette.
Yeah.
Watch everybody just do your work on your car. Gotta love it.
Yeah. So but like you said on this course, races through downtown St. Pete, and then that long straightaway is actually an airport runway. So kind of an interesting course. Very pretty. They're obviously running right there by the water in Florida. So it's a great place. And like you said, this is IndyCar's opener. They will be racing there on Sunday, so it's a joint event. And we will be talking tomorrow. We're going to give some IndyCar picks on our DFS show as well. So make sure you come back, tune in over there. And IndyCar is going to be with NASCAR next week at Phoenix with, I think trucks have off next week. I'll have to look. But I think it's Cup and O'Reilly or Cup and Trucks, one of the two. And then IndyCar will be with them. So we'll definitely be talking IndyCar throughout the season here.
I'm glad they're doing stuff together. I want to see them get along. Like, I want to see them have fun together.
And we've seen them sort of work together before, like with Indy Road Course. And we've seen a few events here and there, but I like getting more. And with NASCAR wanting to do the street racing type stuff, Indy already does it a ton of places, right? They've added Washington, D.C. this year, all kinds of other stuff. So it's like, if they're already building the track, how about we work together and use some of these tracks for both of us, right? I don't know that we'll ever get NASCAR and F1 working together so we could get a Vegas race. That would be sweet, but we got the IndyCar tie at least.
We do indeed. All right, well then, Cody, let's start laying out the card for this race, for this OnlyBulls Green Flag 150. Gotta love the name.
One more thing, entry list, we didn't touch on that, sorry. Slacking over here. 36 entries for the race. Everybody will make the race. Dario Franchitti, he is returning to racing in the number 1 truck. Jimmy Johnson is going to be sitting atop the box. I've heard mixed reports he's going to be the crew chief or he's just going to be up there helping call strategy. Either way, if you don't know who Dario Franchitti is, 4-time IndyCar Series champion, 3-time Indy 500 winner. So he knows the streets of St. Pete here pretty well. So you've got that. In the number 2 truck for Team Reun is Carter Fartuk. We're going to go with that. I don't know much about him, unfortunately. Sorry. In the 4 for Nice is Brett Mayer. He is a very young 17-year-old Cars Tour kid, so interesting there. The number 5 truck, we saw him last week, Adam Andretti. I believe is he the brother of John Andretti, who was a Cup Series driver for a long time, but obviously Mario Andretti, you know the Andretti name, right? So has the tie in there. Connor Mosak is back in the number 7 for Spire. The number 22 is Jackson Lee for Team Reun. Colin Braun is back. He is the Dodge or the Ram. Sorry, don't call it Dodge. It's Ram. It's completely different things. He's the Ram free agent driver of the week. He's kind of a ringer that's been around for a few years. In the 45, we have Landon Lewis. I believe he's another Cars Tour guy. The 76, Spencer Boyd taking a week off. What's up with that? But it is Nathan Nicholson in that 76 car. And then the number 77 is James Hinchcliffe. If you listen to the IndyCar broadcast, you definitely know who he is. He's called some F1 races before as well. He's a lot younger than I thought. He's only 39, so still very much in the prime of his years, but a 6-time IndyCar winner. He has an FIA gold license, all that stuff. So he's going to be in the 77 truck for Spire. So you've got some IndyCar ringers kind of jumping over here in Franchitti, the veteran, the old-timer, and Hinchcliffe, who hasn't run in a while. Like he's been out of racing and been in the booth for a bit, but certainly still knows how to get around a place like this.
Indeed. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch these old hands take on some of the young kids as well. So lots of interest and lots of intrigue, Cody. So with that, we'll set up our bets.
Let's do just that, Rod. This is definitely a tough race to handicap, I think, because we don't really know what we're going to get. And I think there's going to be a lot of levels of chaos in here. So I've certainly built some of that into the card because we don't know who's going to be good here. We have no track history. We don't have any street courses run by any of these guys as far as, in the truck series, stuff like that. So look around. Who do you think you can trust? There's going to be chaos. There's going to be guys getting taken out, going to be pile-ups. It gets crazy here in IndyCar. It'll get crazy here in the truck series as well. So be prepared. Probably go a little bit lighter in the truck series. But Justin Haley is a guy that I love this week. You can get his top 5 over on Bet365 at plus 225. And then I'm also going to take him in a Caesars group C, at plus 250. This is over Caden Honeycutt, Chandler Smith, and Ben Rhodes. But my thinking here is Justin Haley. You get an experienced veteran Cup guy, right? He's been in the Cup Series a few years, ran Xfinity prior to that for a few years, been around, knows what he's doing. In the very first ever Chicago street race that we had, you'll remember some unknown guy named Shane van Gisbergen won. But do you know who finished second place in that race, Rod?
I'm going to say Justin Haley.
Justin Haley, that's right. So in an inaugural street race, did pretty well in the Cup Series, and that was in the 31 car for Colleague at the time. Not a good car by any means, but got the job done through all the adversity, whatever. And then when he was running in the Xfinity Series full-time in 2021, he was a pretty good road course guy. 4th at the Roval, 3rd at the Indy Road Course, 2nd at Mid-Ohio. In the Cup Series, shockingly, Rod, somebody who was good in the Xfinity Series got to Cup, and they weren't as good in road courses in the Cup Series. It's crazy how that works. Results weren't quite there as much, but in the lower series, I don't think he's ever run, not that I could find, a road course in the Truck Series, but in Xfinity, he was good. And that second place at Chicago Street Course really stands out to me. Great opportunity for Ram here at a race like this with a veteran like Justin Haley. So I'm going to take him for the top 5, plus 225. I love that. And then as far as the group bet goes, Caden Honeycutt probably scares me the most because we've seen him be a good road course guy in the one start he has in the Truck Series, but he had a great result. I think it was a top 5 finish there last year. Chandler Smith, I'm not as worried about. Ben Rhodes won at Daytona Road Course before, so he can get it done. This is the type of race where you think maybe he steps up, but I think just getting one guy to beat 3 other guys, plus 225, type of bet I'm looking for at an unknown track like this. So give me Justin Haley in that group as well. That was Group C on Caesars at plus 250.
Yeah, I love this because it involves one of the drivers that I'm going to take in a head-to-head. Actually, it takes both of them, but even if Haley does come in top 5, I still think Ben Rhodes can finish better than Caden Honeycutt overall, even if Haley does end up winning in this group. But Rhodes, look at Rhodes over Honeycutt. This is at even money, plus 100 over on Caesars. And I understand and I get it that the Caden Honeycutt's driving that 11 car, right? I really do. Or the 11 truck rather. And I know that thing has been fast as lightning with Corey Heim behind it. But, you look at Caden Honeycutt and yeah, he does have some success over the course of the last part of last year. But on road courses, not so much even. Caden Honeycutt, Circuit of the Americas, finished 15th last season in that road course. Remember now, the truck guys, they don't do a whole lot in terms of road course racing, right? These guys are not super road course racers.
Until this year.
Well,
it's crazy because I think it was just 2 years ago we had no road courses on the schedule. This year there's 6, Rod. It's crazy. Truck Series has more than the Cup Series.
That's what I'm saying. So that's why they'll get their experience this year, but they haven't added up until then. Lime Rock, Caden Honeycutt finished 12th in that race, like I had said. And then Watkins Glen, he had a drivetrain issue, finished 34th. So not very good overall in terms of road course racing. Ben Rhodes, on the other hand, look, Watkins Glen, I think, kicked everybody's ass for everybody. But Ben Rhodes, average finish of 4th in his one race at Lime Rock. And to me, like, Ben Rhodes is coming off of one of the better races that he's ever had and just living life right now. Road courses in general, he's got 3 starts on road courses in trucks with 1 top 10, 1 top 5 in that mix. So like I said, this is a veteran guy that's been around a long time, and I feel like he's going to have a much better opportunity to get this done. Does Ben Rhodes? Oh, that's the O'Reilly stats. Jesus Christ, Rod. Open the right tab. Road courses for the. This is what happens when you have a bunch going on at life. But road courses for the Truck Series. By the way, he's got 17 starts on road courses with a win, 5 top 5s, 9 top 10s. A very established. makes my point better than the other one, but a much established road course racer. Now, granted, this is a street course, but left and right turns are still valid, right? And you still have to know braking. You still have to know how to do and take these things. And Ben Rhodes has had much more experience. He's a much hotter driver right now. And Caden Honeycutt does not seem to be able to find the speed in that 11 truck like we thought he's going to. Two road course or two super speedway races, I get it, but we expected him to come out blazing fast, and he hasn't yet.
Yeah, the only thing that scares me about this is, can Ben Rhodes have back-to-back good weeks, Rod? That's the thing you never know if you can count on. But I do like the veteran presence guys in this race because I think it is going to be chaotic. I think you're going to have to navigate through some stuff. I think there's going to be some crazy wrecks and crazy stuff going on. So I'm going to lean more toward veteran guys in most of my plays here today.
You know, TK bringing up Ben Rhodes is also the guy that ran into the wall taking on the leaders at the Roval, but I'd call the clips. He's going to clip the wall this week. I'm not counting the Roval for anything. I'm tossing that right the hell out.
Yeah, and it's so hard too because you can definitely look at road course stats and you know, we've sort of blended Chicago street course after a couple races in, you know, when we talk in the Cup Series, but overall we used to say we're not going to include that in road course stats because it is so much different. So yes, you can look at road course stats, but also this is going to race different because it is a street course. Some of the turns much tighter. There's no runoff areas like a place like COTA that has all these big, wide, sweeping runoff areas. You don't have all that extra room here. A lot of walls everywhere. So it's definitely going to make for an interesting race.
It will make for an interesting race, and we'll get to the rest of our picks on the other side of this, but I want to tell you about our friends over at Underdog. Underdog's got you covered for pick'em for almost every single sport under the sun. Underdog has just increased their payouts. 2 pick entries now pay 3.5x, and 3 pick entries now pay 6.5x on your investment. I've been looking at this real American freestyle wrestling. This is a rabbit hole that you got to get down on because now I'm completely about to dive into this rabbit hole. It's real. What is it? I call it real American freestyle wrestling. Insane. But they've got it on Underdog. Jordan Oliver is taking on Bartlett. And again, I'll find out more about this later, but this is fun. How about higher than 5.5 points? If you look at his stats, Jordan Oliver's actually won the last time he was out in this and has 3 MMA wins. So Jordan Oliver, pretty decent resume. Give him over or higher than 5.5 points on Underdog. Thank me later, I guess. Underdog's got a brand new offer too for new customers. Play just $5, get $75 in bonus funds when you sign up with our promo code RACE SGPN. We're also brought to you by Novig. Novig is America's #1 sports prediction market. Novig, you are getting the best prices absolutely anywhere in the world. If you don't believe me, go see for yourself. I will say that there's a lot of great stuff to find. How about if we're looking right now at let's look at hockey because hockey's back, right? Tomorrow we get or actually later on today. How about that? Edmonton and Anaheim, the Ducks taking on the Oilers. You can get Anaheim as the underdog at +117. A little California action going on. So find that over there on Novig. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5 if you use our promo code SGPN. Get in on the action with Novig promo code SGPN. I was asked once upon a time what sport or what particular sport I like. And I just said yes. Because you'd be hard pressed to find one that I don't like, right?
It's pretty accurate, Rod. That is very accurate, especially for you.
Except basketball. I can't stand basketball. Sorry. Never.
I don't love. I don't know. I don't like watching it as much as I love playing it. That was my sport definitely when I was obsessed with playing basketball, but I love the sport. It's a great sport.
You know what else is a great sport? NASCAR. Trucks are too.
NASCAR is.
Keep it rolling.
By the way, the Truck Series Craftsman, the naming rights is up after this year, Rod. So luckily we just call it the Truck Series, so it's not going to be as hard for us next year if they change it. But who knows? Maybe we'll get the NASCAR Gambling Podcast Truck Series in 2027.
Are we going back to Gander? That would be something, right?
I don't know. Who knows? It's open, so if you want in, go bid on it. But all right, Rod, I'm going to take a page out of your book and go with the winning truck number here. So Caesars has the winning truck number. Odd is very heavily juiced, and even is +145. And the way that I'm looking at this truck race is it's wide open. I don't think obviously, if you listen to the Cup show yesterday, I think SVG is the guy to beat. I don't think anybody's going to beat him. It's pretty simple and straightforward, right? But in the truck race, that is not the case by any means. There's not one guy I can point at and say, this is the guy that I think is going to win. I have guys I'm going to bet on, obviously, and I think can win. But it's very hard to me to point out, like, this guy is clearly going to be the best guy here. You can make different cases for different guys, but I don't think we know. And so I think getting even at plus 145, first of all, it's going to keep you in the race till the end, which is something we want, right? You're going to probably have somebody in the mix, hopefully, I guess, depending on how the race goes. But gives you plenty of different options in case one guy you have gets wrecked out or whatever. I will say odds certainly gives you probably more of the bigger names, yes. But I like even because you're still getting plenty of guys that are capable of doing it, right? You get a guy, the Ben Mayer guy, okay, fine. Daniel Dye, maybe you could make a case. Brennan Queen, we'll see. Minnie Tyrell does not scare me. Justin Haley, though, we already talked about him. He could certainly win, right? Tyler Ankrum, he's a guy who could get it done. We've seen him be good on road courses. This Jackson Lee guy's in there. Colin Braun, fine. Nope, he's an odd number. Just kidding. You get Dawson Sutton. Lane Riggs. Lane Riggs is one of the favorites in this race. I don't know that I trust a guy like Lane Riggs. I think it's going to be hard to trust him on a circuit like this that requires so much discipline, but he's one of the best truck series drivers. So you get him included in there. So I don't mind having that. Good way to be in on him without being in on him. You get Chandler Smith. Maybe he can get it done, right? Tyler Reif. I think he's got some road racing background. Andres Perez de Lara. I don't mind having him on the card. You get a guy, a veteran like Stuart Friesen. Wesley Simp is in this race. I guess we didn't mention him in the early part, but he's in the 62 for Halmar, so he's a potential guy. You get to Nathan Nicholson. You get Ty Majeski. He's a guy who could get it done, right? You get a guy like Jake Garcia as well. So I think there's just enough guys for as big of a number as it is for the unknowns. I mean, you can almost treat it like a super speedway. We don't really know what's going to happen in this, and there's not a lot of weeks it's like, okay, this guy should be the best car. This guy could probably win. This guy could beat him. Maybe this guy's but this week, I think it's pretty wide open as to who could be the surprise. Oh my God, goes and gets it done. So give me the even numbered truck to win plus 145. And then, Rod, stick with me here. I would like to take Timmy Hill, top 5, 18-1. Now, yes, this is a big number. We don't generally bet on Timmy Hill outside of super speedways, and I get that. But if you are building a case for this could be chaotic, it could be crazy, a guy like Timmy Hill's the type of guy who could put himself in position. So go back to 2020 with me, if you will. In the height of COVID, we're not racing, we're not playing sports, right? So NASCAR decides we're going to have this iRacing series. We're going to put it on television, and we go to the Chicago Street Course for the first time because it's not actually a thing yet. Do you remember who won that race? One Timmy Hill did, right? I know it was iRacing, but all he had, literally, a steering wheel mounted on his desk, the computer there, and an ice bucket of water fanning the thing, keeping it cool. I mean, it was quite the setup, but he showed the ability to be able to maneuver at this type of track. So I like that. And then you look at the road course stuff, and he's been decent, right? He's been good enough, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. 16th place at the Roval last year. No, it's not a top 5. It's not even a top 10, but let's say 16th. Okay, maybe he ends up running 12th, but then 5, 6, 7 cars get messed up in front of him, and now all of a sudden, holy shit, Timmy Hill's in the top 5 because on the last lap, we had 3 pileups across the track because everybody went crazy and lost their minds. We've never seen that happen in a Truck Series road course race, let alone a super speedway race like this might be, or a street race, which we've never had. So he's got the ability, right? 20th place at Watkins Glen. We know this isn't a great truck, but he's getting serviceable finishes. I think he could step it up a little bit. I think a track like this kind of leans into his skill set. 17th at COTA in 24, 17th at Mid-Ohio in 24, 21st at the Daytona road course back in 21. So kind of throughout time, he has had that ability to do things. And yeah, TK with a great point. Non-competitive pit stops. That might help a guy like this a ton because if he can go out there and slowly work his way forward, he's not going to lose it on a pit cycle because he's got a bad pit crew, which generally he has on a week-to-week basis, right? So I think his ability to maneuver at a track like this, again, a veteran guy, a big iRacer, does this type of stuff. Like I said, he beat, and yes, it's on the computer. It's not the same. I get it, but we've seen iRacing translate in some ways. It's a chaos build. It's Timmy Hill's likely not just going to be a top 5 car on speed or top 5 truck on speed, but if you get some chaotic stuff in here, it's always good to have plays like that. We could walk out of this. Oh, by the way, there might be some rain on Saturday, Rod. So now add that into the mix, wet weather tires, like the whole thing, like could be really crazy. So if it is crazy, a long shot guy I want to have a little bit of money on because he could find his way into the top 5 is Timmy Hill at 18-1. I don't think you're just burning your money here. I think that it's got a path. If things fall right, you might look back and be like, holy shit, we should not have hit that, but we will take it. That's what this bet is.
Corey Day, top 5. You're probably not going to cash this, but if you do,
tell the people, Rod, this is not a great bet, but it could hit.
But it could hit. But see, this is why we do this, right? It's not because we're just telling you to go out and throw your money away. It's because when we sometimes say that it's not going to hit, we really hope that it hits, and it does hit.
Yeah, we're not giving it out if there's not a path, right? And yeah, Corey Day sucks, but the path is he wrecks 3/4 of the field and there's nobody left and he finishes top 5. And
they don't ask you how, they just ask you how many. At the counter, they don't say, hey, how did you cash this ticket? They just say, congratulations on cashing your ticket, sir. Here you go.
Yep.
All right. I've got a top 5 as well. Maybe this doesn't need chaos. Maybe it does need chaos. Who knows? But I got Dario Franchitti. You talked about him earlier, right? This IndyCar great, driving the one truck. Jimmy Johnson sitting up there on the box, which is he's not crew chiefing. He's just up there giving some advice. The IndyCar connection still with him as well. Look, Franchitti, man, this guy, 21 wins in his IndyCar career, 59 podiums, 23 poles. And on this particular track, he does have a win. He has a win in 2011. But he also got 5 of 8 top 10 finishes on this track. And all 5 of those top 5 finishes as well. So really, really outstanding on this track. He led 94 laps in that 2011 race that he ended up winning. His last time out in the Chip Ganassi 10 car, he ended up crashing in that one, I believe. And then, of course, he got kind of caught up in another one with Sato that sort of ended his career. He's been out of the sport for a very long time, but he's jumping in to Tricon Equipment, right? One of the better teams that's out there. He's in that one truck that we've seen piloted so well by so many of these guys that jump in and drive the one truck. So he's driving quality equipment. He's a guy that's driven St. Pete in his life, which is more than you can say for a lot of the guys that are out there on the track that are even Truck Series regulars, obviously, that have never driven the track before. So he at least knows, he's got some familiarity with the track. He's got the guy up on the box that has won several NASCAR champions, the power of Tricon underneath them. I know that this number is not as long as an 18-1. It's only plus 350 for him to jump into the top 5, but I feel like that's still such a damn good price for a guy who has the most experience of anybody pretty much on this particular track and just is in the right position, the right equipment that's out there. And I know that the other Tricon guy that's out there right now too, Adam Andretti, driving the 5 for Tricon, but doesn't scare you nearly as much because the guy doesn't have that much. Now, the only thing that I think could really keep you from cashing this a lot is the rust that the one car is going to have, or the one truck's going to have. Franchitti's going to have. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe he has little gremlins that sneak up and tell him that, oh my God, you wrecked last time or whatever. But, he's been in cars since then. He just hasn't done any serious major racing in any major series since that wreck that kind of ended his career. But like I said, if you're going to put a guy on there that knows this track the way he does and has the power underneath the hood that he's got, all he's got to do is just stay out of the fracas. Right? Let other guys do it and mix it up and get in trouble in front of them and just run a clean race. And much like TK said, the non-competitive pit stops certainly helps him too, because now he doesn't have to worry about getting out of the pits before everybody else. Just sits there for 3 minutes, puts a cigarette out and keeps going.
That's actually huge because those guys aren't used to making NASCAR style pit stops. IndyCar is completely different. IndyCar, I believe, has the buttons where you set your speed and it just puts you down. Like, you don't have to worry about speeding in that. So that's actually a great point. But yeah, I don't mind having money on a guy like Franchitti. There's nobody in the field that has as much experience as he does here. It's not even close. I think Hinchcliffe and Andretti are the only 2 other guys who have raced here even. So there's that. He's won here, obviously, in IndyCar. So he has all that experience. He's been in a truck once before. It was only one time, but He's at least got the familiarity there. And like you said, it's a great truck. The Tricon trucks we know are very good. So I don't mind having a bet on him. And it's not like they said all those things and he's minus 150. Like, you're getting him at plus 350. I think it's a good number. So I will ride with you there. To the outright market, Rod, our guy Gio Ruggiero, 10-1 over on Bet365. Much shorter other books, down to 8-1 in some places. But I love him as an outright here, plus 10-1 rather. He's been great in everything he does, everywhere, all the time. Been good at Atlanta, good at Daytona, started the season off great. 3 starts last year on road courses. Those are his 3 career finishes. He has an average finish of 3, Rod, because he finished 3rd at Lime Rock, he finished 3rd at Watkins Glen, and he finished 3rd at the Roval. So he's going to be there at the mix at the end, 10-1. Love having my money on a guy like Gio Ruggiero this week. Justin Haley's 13-1. Made my case for him earlier. Second place finish at the Chicago Street Course the first time there. I think that veteran prowess of a guy like Haley, you look at the truck field again, right? Who has experience, who has all this? Well, Haley, not as much truck experience, but cup experience, right? Running road courses. Who does he always joke is his dad? AJ Allmendinger knows a thing or two about running road courses, right? So he's learned from him, and they're in the Colleague building once again together. So 13-1 on FanDuel, you can get Justin Haley. And then, Rod, I'm going to go a little bit off course here. Guy we don't talk about very much. Andres Perez de Lara, 45-1 over on FanDuel. I don't have a bunch of stats to back this up. The few road course starts have been kind of iffy, but he grew up racing NASCAR Mexico, a lot of street courses, a lot of road courses, stuff like that. This could be an opportunity for a guy like this to come out, show up big. We don't really know what to expect in a race like this. Perez de Lara, a guy that jumped off the board to me as, hey, he's got a lot of experience turning left and right. This would be a great opportunity for him. He's in a good truck. He's in, I believe, a Nice truck, right? So got a good ride. Give me Perez de Lara at 45-1. Longer shot guy that's got some experience in this type of stuff that we could see that translate on Saturday.
Yeah, again, I don't mind taking anybody at this point just because you just don't know. And if he can stay clean, if he's driving a good truck, obviously we know the 45 truck has been pretty damn good in this series as well, or the 44 or whatever Nice is slapping on his side. You definitely know that it's a good truck.
I should see which truck he's in. I don't even know, but it doesn't really matter. Like I know he's in the 44 for Nice. I knew it was a Nice truck, and that's really what I care about. So it's a good enough truck.
Indeed. All right, I'm going to go for my outright Ty Majeski. You can find him at plus 750 on the score. Ty Majeski, pianos falling, doesn't matter. I feel like Ty Majeski is due. At Lime Rock last year, he finished in second place behind Corey Heim in that one. In Watkins Glen, he ended up finishing in 7th place behind Heim, Hemrick, Ruggiero, Bell, Ankrum, and Sammy Smith. A lot of those guys not in this race, obviously, this week. Right, so he's got a clearer field to clear, or lower bar to clear, I suppose, as it were. And look, for Ty Majeski, it's just, he's got the 88 now on his hood. All of a sudden, we started seeing the 88 drive to the front, and we were like, "Whoa, Matt Crafton!" Like we said, Matt Crafton's doing really good, but it wasn't Matt Crafton; it was actually Ty Majeski. I just feel like this is his time to finally, I guess, come back again. Right? We keep joking about him pianoing and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, but down and deep, Ty Majeski's a really damn good driver. And on road courses, he's not bad. He doesn't have a lot of road course experience, much like a lot of these truck drivers as well. But I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think the 2 solid outings that he's had last season will carry over into this year. And at plus 750 for a regular like that, I don't know how you can pass that up at all. I definitely feel like that's a misprice for Ty Majeski because of all the madness that can happen. So like Ty Majeski. And then I made the case for Rhodes earlier, teammate Rhodes, 14-1 for him on the outright. If anybody can sneak up and have a couple back-to-back good weeks, it's Ben Rhodes. So I'll like his 14-1 outright as kind of an insurance play if Ty Majeski doesn't get us to the counter.
Yeah, no argument for me on either one of those. Real quick, Rod, do we want to make our one and done pick as we try to catch up with our buddy Phil over at Full Tank with Phil? Again, just to set it up, Phil, Full Tank with Phil podcast, go check it out. Does a great job. Cup Series podcast every week. Does trucks on his YouTube page. He's great. We often have a lot of the same picks, which I like because it makes me feel better about myself. But he's a great guy. Make sure you check him out. What do you think, Rod? Who should we play?
Well, my question to you is, are we going to use Haley again?
So that's definitely an interesting one.
Let's not overthink it, actually.
Yeah, I think that could be the case because my suggestion was going to be maybe a Franchitti just because we're not going to see him again. So this would be a good, when we don't know what to expect, you kind of burn him here. But Haley, I don't know that that's going to be who Phil will use. So I like being a little bit different. I think he's going to be up front. Obviously, I've got many bets on him when I don't have a huge card. So I like it. Let's go Justin Haley.
All right, boom. Justin Haley, lock it in. Phil, we got you. We're climbing up back again out of
the comeback starts now, Rod.
Boom. 3 races in. We're settling down. All right, let's move on to the O'Reilly Series race, which, by the way, I feel much better about my life because I listened to Door Bumper Clearer today, and they just could not stop calling it the Xfinity Series. So,
well, then you get Ryan Blaney, who's sponsored by Advance Auto Parts, and he's like, they're shit anyways or something. And I was like, don't hold back, buddy.
Right. Well, he doesn't have to kiss up to them, so it's all good for him. But yes, the O'Reilly Series for the Focused Health 250 in the friendly confines of the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, set for 65 laps around this 2.400 mile road course for a 156 mile race. Cody, there are some familiar names in the series that are going to be driving, one of which is clearly the favorite in the entire world, but
well, it's going to be a lot closer than this. I will tell you right off the bat before we get into anything, I do not feel as confident in SVG in this race as I do in the Cup race. I absolutely hammered him in the Cup Series, not hammering him in this. So I will lead off with that. 40 entries for 38 spots, Rod, at COTA. That means 2 drivers will go home. Alex LeBay is going to be in the 0 car for SS Greenlight. Connor Zilisch, defending race winner. He will be back in the number 1 car for JRM. So this is where JRM shuffling begins. Carson Kvapil not in the 1 car for JRM this week. I think that's very important. Let's keep that in mind as we get into these bets here in a minute. Tyler Gonzalez is stepping into the 5 car for Hettinger Racing. Shane van Gisbergen, I don't know if I've heard of him before. He's going to be in the 9 car for JRM. So he's in the extra car, right? Zilisch gets one of the regular cars. Van Gisbergen gets the extra car. Brent Cruz is going to be in the 19 car. We've talked about him a little bit before. 17-year-old. He's running the full O'Reilly schedule, but couldn't race at Atlanta or Daytona. He'll race this week. He'll race at Phoenix. Then he can't race at Vegas or Darlington. Then he'll be full-time because he turns 18 at the end of March. Not old enough to race at those bigger tracks, but very good young driver. Think Connor Zilisch when you think of Brent Cruz. I will say that. The number 30 car, Rod, is Balazar Leguizamon. That's going to be as close as I'm going to get to that. The Watermelon Man, Ross Chastain, he's back in the 32 car. Preston Pardus in the 50. Sage Karam in the 55 car.
Yeah, and really the attention of the entire field will be on SVG and Connor Zilisch duking it out. How stacked is that JRM lineup? Holy hell, man. This is like every single heavy hitter is a JRM car out there right now.
Yeah, it absolutely is. And then, so Carson Kvapil is going to be in the 91 car, by the way. So it's a DGM car listed, but it is being prepared by Junior Motorsports. So yes, it's a DGM car, which aren't great, but it is a Junior Motorsports is taking the area. So not quite a JRM car, but JRM prep car should be fairly close, but not with his regular team, not with his regular pit crew. We have that type of stuff. JDK wants to know what car Austin Green is in. He's full-time this year in that 87 car with the Peterson Racing Group. So that's what you're going to see him in each and every single week. We will definitely be talking about him as we get into the bets, Rod.
Let's get into the bets then, shall we?
Let's get into the bets. I'm going to start with picking on one Carson Kvapil, who is racing for DGM this week, Rod. And I'm going to fade him. I'm going to take William Sawalich in a JGR, a fast Joe Gibbs racing car, over Carson Kvapil in a JRM prepped DGM car. Minus 120 over on Caesars. A little bit of a hefty number, but I feel good about this one, so I'm going to take it. You look at what they did last year. I mean, really, it was their first years for each of them, so that's what we have to look back on. Sawallisch beat Kvapil in 5 of the 6 road course races. That stands out to me. 5 of 6 times, that's pretty good, right? You started off here. Remember, Sawallisch was like fade every single week. Cousin Danny was on him. Cousin Danny was right. I'll give him props for that. He finished well here. He finished 9th place, beat Kvapil, who finished in 23rd place. That was pretty easy. So you look through the rest of the season, the Roval, 7th for Sawallisch, 15th for Kvapil. Portland, 2nd place for William Sawallisch, 6th place for Kvapil. So a good run, but not good enough. Watkins Glen is where Kvapil got Sawallisch, a 5th place for him, 26th for Sawallisch with a bad day. But Sonoma, 3rd place for Sawallisch, 8th place for Kvapil. So some good runs by Kvapil, but not good enough to beat Sawallisch. 6th at Mexico, 19th at Mexico for Kvapil. So 5 of the 6 went the way of Sawallisch. He's in the JGR car, should be a fast car, should be a good car. And not only did he do well here last year while he was in the middle of his slump, he got out of that slump late in the season and started to gain his own feet. 2nd year back in this car. You throw in Kvapil kind of to the wolves with a different car, different stuff. I don't even know. I think the crew chief situation, like I think he's going to have a different crew chief. It's just going to be a little different, even though it's a JRM prepped car. I don't think he's going to be as comfortable. So give me Sawallisch over Kvapil, minus 120 over on Caesars.
Yeah, I feel bad though for Kvapil because again, this game of back and forth just really makes me a little bit irritated where they're like, all right, Connor, we're going to put you in the 1, but Carson, go ahead and go into the 91, right?
Well,
it's like,
and then
prepare the car
weird
for the 91 and then put Zilisch in there. If he's really that good, then he can win in the 91
right.
as much as easy as he can win in the 1.
Well, and it's weird too because after Kvapil made the Final Four, your junior announces, "Oh, we got sponsorship security is going to be in a JRM car, but he's just going to go back and forth between the 1 and the 88." Then suddenly, oh no, he's running some races over here. So they're putting him in this DGM car so he can still compete for points and get into the chase. And in the chase, he'll run in the JRM 1 car for the championship if he gets there, assuming, but yeah, this bouncing him around. But then you also think about it, and TK brings up the 17 car here in the chat. Think about all the cars JRM is prepping. They have 5 JRM cars. They're also helping on the 17 car for Hendrick. That's pretty much a JGR car or JRM car. And now they've got Kvapil in the 91 car. Like, yeah, JRM is prepping that, but it's the guy sweeping the shop floor that's putting the car together. Like, there's nobody else left. There's a lot of stuff going on. I'm not doubting Junior and what they got going on over there, but when you're prepping 7, 8 cars for this race, like, my God, which one do you think is not going to be the best one? Well, probably not the JRM car.
Well, and then that reminds me of the NASCAR Heat 4 again too, where you're hiring all these people to prep the cars, and you run out of prep, and you're like, well, okay, I can't prep any more cars. It's kind of where they're at right now too, aren't they? So, all right. Speaking of JRM, I am going to take a JGR car over a JRM car. I am going to take Taylor Gray over Sammy Smith. This is at plus 195 over on Caesars. I'm telling you right now, this sucks because I hate to do it. But like you said, their attention is just spread so thin right now. They're all focused on Connor Zilisch right now. They're all focused on Justin Allgaier right now. They're all focused on everybody but poor Sammy Smith over there. And I'll tell you right now, Sammy Smith, not even really all that fantastic at this particular track at all in his career. 3 starts. He had a 4th place finish in the first one in 2023, but since then he crashed out in 2024 at a 36th place finish there, an 11th place finish in 2025. So, I mean, again, if we're ranking all of these drivers in terms of where they're going to finish, it's Zilisch, it's Allgaier. You think Kvapil may get in there. I know he's not JRM, but still. But Sammy Smith kind of chugging the back end of this one in terms of prep work for this race. Taylor Gray, on the other hand, is driving that beautiful 54 car, which gets all the attention in the JGR stall. And Taylor Gray piloting that one to a 7th place finish last season in this car after starting 11th. Taylor Gray, not necessarily the most proficient on road courses. He did have a 14th place finish in Portland. Like I said, that 7th place finish at the Circuit of the Americas as well. Did finish 7th at Sonoma. So, he's actually been a solid top 10 runner in the road courses that he's been in. Sammy Smith, two top 3 finishes at Watkins Glen, but those are kind of also an 18th and a 19th in the middle of those. Sonoma, Sammy Smith, 2 top 10 finishes, a 9th place in 2023, 9th place in 2025, but a 33rd in between that one. Road America for Sammy Smith, a 24th and a 31st. Both of those were in Gibbs equipment as well, but he's not the strongest of road course racers. And Taylor Gray, you wouldn't put him as a road course ringer, but he's certainly done well in finishing inside of the top 10 and knocking on a top 5 door in these road courses that he's been in his career, in an O'Reilly Series car, an Xfinity Series car. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to go ahead and take the Joe Gibbs powered Taylor Gray over JRM's Sammy Smith over on Caesars.
Wow, Rod, blink twice if you're being held hostage over there.
Oh, it's minus 105.
Yeah. I don't know what it was. You had it printed on in there funny, but minus 105 still, it's a good number. And yeah, I had this matchup written down. I decided to go with the other one. So I'm glad you went with it because I do like Taylor Gray in this. Sammy definitely has had some bright spots. More so when he was driving the JGR car, shouldn't have left, but yeah, I like Gray's upside more. And we know Ty Gibbs gets all the preferential treatment. He is the owner of that 54 car, so maybe that car gets extra attention too, Rod. Speaking of JGR cars, Brent Cruz, I'm going to take his top 5 plus 250. Look, this should be the Zilisch and SVG show up front. They should be duking it out, going back and forth. Which one wins? I have no fucking idea. But there's 3 other spots in the top 5. I think Brent Cruz is probably the next best driver. He's listed as the next best driver most places in the odds. Now, Brent Cruz is only 17. Some books might not list him because they won't allow you to bet on minors. Just a heads up, if you can't find him on some books, you might have to look elsewhere. But he is listed over on the Score, formerly ESPN, plus 250 for a top 5. We've not seen him in the O'Reilly Series yet. Again, he's only 17 years old, Rod. But he finished second place in the Truck Series race, leading 56 laps at the Roval in the fall. Looked very impressive there. He had an 8th place run at Lime Rock. 17th at Watkins Glen was a little bit disappointing, but you think of Connor Zilisch, you think of all this road course experience on the path to F1, all this. Brent Cruz, similar guy. He is the 2023 SCCA Trans Am TA2 champion, and he won that at 15 years old, if I'm doing my math correctly, right? So that's pretty impressive. He also won the 2016 Pro Kart Championship. According to my math, he was like 8 at the time. So pretty good. He's the youngest Trans Am winner in history at 14 years old. So this kid grew up racing on that stuff. He's in a super fast JGR car. This 19 car is going to be good. Oh, by the way, you want a shot at the chase? And there are people who believe, even though he's going to miss these 4 races, he's missed 2, he'll miss 2 more. He could still make the chase because he's that talented. Get up on that horse and let's go. You got to start racking up points now because you're down 4 races. You're going to have to make that up. So, yeah, I really like Cruz this week. Top 5 plus 250. Love it. Austin Green, JDK brought him up earlier. He is an auto bet for me. You can get his top 5 plus 650 on Bet365. If we get O'Reilly Series top 10s, FanDuel's been doing them, and the Score, I believe, has been doing them as well. If we get those later in the week, which we've been getting, love his top 10. Since we don't have it, I'll take the top 5 for here. Plus 650 over on Bet365. Finished second place at the Roval just in the spring or the fall. Oh, Rod, I had Cruz to win in the Cup race or in the truck race, and I had the green top 5 because I always play it in the Roval race. Great runs in both of them. He finished 8th place at Portland, 7th at Watkins Glen, 11th at Sonoma, 7th at Mexico. 26th place finish here was a little bit disappointing, but not going to overlook that. 2024, he had a bad race at the Roval, but then he turned it around and got that second place. See how he could do that here. 11th at Watkins Glen, 4th place at Sonoma, really showing what he could do. 7th place here at COTA, so he's been good here before. He's a very, very good road course racer, another guy with an extensive background. Bet on him every single time. If you can find that top 10, probably going to be in the 2-1 range, 3-1. I would absolutely love to hit that, and I would highly suggest doing that. Then you can get William Sawalich, Rod, for a top 5 on Bet365 at 10-1. I think this is a crazy number. We just talked about it. 7th at the Roval, 2nd at Portland, 3rd at Sonoma, 9th here, 6th place at Mexico. The Watkins Glen 26th place is the only time in the 6 races last year he didn't finish inside of the top 10. Sorry, this is top 5, not top 10. We don't have top 10 numbers. But he was in the top 10 in all of those races. 10-1 for him to be in the top 5, which he did at Portland. He did at Sonoma when he was 6th in Mexico. Sign me up. And Zilisch at the top, like they were a lot of places, like Sonoma, where he them, right? I think those guys were wrecked at Mexico, maybe. But either way, I think Zilisch can be in that next group at 10-1 to finish in the top 5. I love Zilisch. I love these fast JGR cars. I'll take that. So Cruz, top 5, plus 250 on the score. Austin Green, top 5, plus 650 on 365. William Zilisch, 10-1, top 5 on 365.
Got to love it. Yeah, Cruz, I was pretty pissed that I couldn't find him on a couple of the other books because I was going to take his top 5 as well, but I'm glad you found him on the score. I didn't have access to that when I was looking, so I love that one because, yeah, I mean, he is a fast kid, and he's going to be very fast for a lot of his races upcoming. Speaking of, this is a completely and total mispriced top 5. Sam Mayer, top 5, plus 275 on the score. Allow me to just read the stats from Circuit of the Americas, if you will. 5th, 7th, 9th, 3rd. So twice in his 4 races here has he finished inside of the top 5, including a 3rd place finish last year. Sam Mayer, if he's not trying to congratulate his teammate and driving through the dirt and tearing up his car, has established himself as one of the better road course racers in the series. He won Road America in 2023, the last time he was out there. Portland kind of kicks him in the ass, but Sonoma, he had a 3rd place finish in 2024. And then Watkins Glen, he's won at Watkins Glen in 2023, finished 2nd in 2025. So one of the more accomplished road course racers into the circuit. Yeah, you got SVG. Yeah, you got Connor Zilisch in this. But like Cody said, past that, you talk about William Zilisch, you talk about Cruz, you got to talk about Sam Mayer. Like, Sam Mayer is going to be in there. And yeah, Allgaier as well is going to be in the mix on this. But to me, I can't, how do you overlook a guy like Sam Mayer at plus 275 to do something he's done twice already in 4 chances, and really not that far outside of it on the other 2. 7th and 9th is not that far away from a top 5 finish. And a lot of times a couple seasons ago when we were talking about road course guys, we were talking Sheldon Creed, we were talking Austin Hill, we were talking Sam Mayer, we were talking Justin Allgaier, right? Those guys were all in the same breath. And to tell you the truth, this 41 car has not slowed Sam Mayer down at all. Like, we kind of thought, yeah, he's coming from JRM. He just this Haas equipment's probably not going to be the same. But got to tell you, Cody, we've seen this Haas equipment. Obviously, we saw Haas equipment win last week, and Sam Mayer ran well too. And these guys, you know, they poured a lot of their energy into the O'Reilly series this year, and it shows, right? We knew that they were taking away some of the attention from the Cup series and turning it into the O'Reilly series. And they've done it. They've put fast cars out there, competitive cars out there. Sam Mayer, an accomplished road course driver. I don't know why he's a plus 275. I know Brent Cruz is a sexy new name, but how is he shorter odds than Sam Mayer, who's done this already a couple of times? So I'm going to snatch on that. I'm going to take Sam Mayer top 5 and not even look back.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. You had this in the dock before I got there, or I would have had this play. I will be playing this as well. I love Sam Mayer this weekend. JDK says intensity. That's Sam Mayer's word. Worked out really well for him when he was driving through the grass last week. TK with a good point. The switch to Chevy may push him to be strong enough to hang with JRM JGR. He was much better than he had been in the Ford with SHR/Haas. Now Haas is back to Chevy. I kind of like that. So yeah, I love the Sam Mayer play this week, and I'll ride with you on that. If you don't mind, Rod, would you like to go first on your outright? Because I'd like to set things up in that order if you don't mind.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm doing this, okay? The world is on SVG. The world wants SVG to dog walk this field, turn around on Sunday, dog walk the other field. But the only problem is that in the O'Reilly /Xfinity /Busch whatever it was before Busch series, nationwide series. Yeah, there you go. Grand National Series. The thing about it is Connor Zilisch is still there, and Connor Zilisch can run these O'Reilly cars better than he can run his Cup car right now. And he's at plus 100. He's at even money, where Shane van Gisbergen is not at even money. I tell you right now, yes, by all rights and accounts, Shane SVG should win this race. Obviously, clearly, he should win this race. Connor Zilisch should be with him, jockeying for the win. It should be those guys coming down to the last lap. It should be those guys coming down to the last turn. It should be SVG and Connor Zilisch, right? Obviously, Cody's going to make a case for a couple other guys outside of that. But I think if all things are equal in this car, I think Connor Zilisch has the confidence, has the talent, and he's proven it already. He's done that several times over. Obviously, won as many races as he did last year and didn't look back. So for Connor Zilisch to be on the plus money side of this, I get it. The books don't want to get beat by an SVG win. They don't want to have to go bankrupt because SVG wins in the O'Reilly series. But I feel like they're kind of giving you an out, and it's not a huge out. You could also put Connor Zilisch at minus 115, minus 120. You absolutely could. But the score is giving you even money for Connor Zilisch to win, something that he did several times over last year. And if you listen to NASCAR, or if you watch NASCAR at all, and you watched last year, I don't have to regale you with stats because you've already heard them from several other people out there about Connor Zilisch's prowess on road courses. That's really what he was looking out for. Him and SVG duking it out in Sonoma, right? Him and SVG duking it out. They didn't really duke it out too many other times, to be honest with you. If you look back at their head-to-head, they didn't really duke out that many times on road courses. But
yeah, I feel like it was Sonoma and Chicago, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and
Chicago was not good.
Yeah, and Mexico, I don't think was them, wasn't it him and wasn't it somebody in Ty Gibbs? I don't remember. Ty Gibbs was definitely in that mix. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know. I ran my own simulations in my mind, and 97.326% of the time it was either Zilisch or SVG, neck and neck all the way. And this, so as much as I got on here yesterday and I told you SVG is going to wipe the floor in the Cup Series, it's not even going to be close. That I fully believe. In the O'Reilly series, I think it's completely different. I think that Zilisch already knows that car. That I don't think translates to the Cup car, but in this car, coming back to a team he's comfortable with, all that stuff, I think he's going to be just as good. So I think it's going to be neck and neck between these two guys, and one at minus 130, one at even money. I'm not going to pick either one because I think it's too close to pick, and I don't think that there's any value in betting on either one personally because I think you're splitting hairs between picking one. Now, if you want to flip a coin and bet on one of those two guys is going to win this race. That's how it's going to go down. That's what's going to happen. So bet on one. Hopefully you bet on the right one. You made the case for Zilisch. I'm not going to disagree with you. Zilisch has been better certainly at this track. So I will give him the props for that in this car in particular. So you could definitely go with that case there. A shout out to our buddies over at Win the Race, P1 in Racing Analytics. As we know, Rod, they've got a lot of cool stuff over there. And one of it is they run simulations of the races 100,000 times. So Greg Mathern was talking earlier over in their Discord that's part of that membership. He ran the sim. 34.39% of the O'Reilly Auto Parts sims have both SVG and Connor Zilisch in the top three. 86.46% of the time, at least one of them does. So to me, that's leaving, according to their simulations, a 13% chance that both of them are not, or at least one of them is not inside of the top three. So if that's the case, let's just go with two long shots. That's what I'm going to do. I truly do believe SVG or Zilisch will win this race. I don't believe that there's an edge on either one. I don't think there's value in picking one of them. So I'm not going to. I'm going to go with two longer shots. This is a just in case. I don't think either of these guys will be better than those two guys, but problems do happen, right? The small chance that happens. We could get into a dick measuring contest and they take each other out. We've definitely seen that before, and that's probably what you're hoping for here. So two guys I think can position themselves to take advantage if they get the opportunity, very small plays. Again, I'm telling you right now, Zilisch or SVG is going to win this race. These are just in cases. So just in case somebody is there, give me Sam Mayer at 25-1. That's on multiple books. Second place at Watkins Glen. Third place here last year. Like you mentioned before, he won the Roval in 2024. Third place at Sonoma in a loaded Cup field in that race. 2023, third place at Portland, second at the Indy Road Course, one at Road America, one at the Roval. At one point in that 2022-2023, we were referring to him as Baby AJ because he took over as the road course guy. Unfortunately for him, SVG and Zilisch showed up, but he's that guy, right? Back in Chevy now. I think he can position himself and be in place. And then at 35-1, I'll smash a watermelon to that. Ross Chastain cashed a 40-1 for us in the Cup Series back in 2022, and he outdueled AJ Allmendinger, at the time the king of the road courses, to do so. We saw him last week in position at the end of the race. He knows he's a veteran driver, knows how to get himself there. Sure, the Jordan Anderson car isn't the best car in the world, but I think he'll have himself in a good enough position late in the race that he could go take advantage. So those are my two outrights. Mayer at 25-1, Ross at 35-1. That's on BetMGM, the best number I found there. I really think it's going to be the other two guys. I don't think there's value in betting either one, so I'm not going to. Just going to take these long shot insurance plays.
Yeah, and look, it'll be fun if Mayer does end up winning this one because then he can really drive himself through the grass as well. But I just think it'd be a great validation for him to say and kind of reassert himself as the road course guy in the, because I mean Zilisch and SVG, I don't think they're going to race every single road course race.
Actually, they might, because there's not one in the chase now, so they could. And I know they're both scheduled to do a few, so it's possible that we do see them in all of them this year. Unfortunately, you won't have that was the nice thing about the Roval and Xfinity previously was, oh, hey, we don't have the ringers coming down, right? So it's just the regulars, and then you get a duke it out battle of the best. But we don't get that this year, but also we're not sad that the Roval's gone. So there is that.
Oh, yeah. I am not sad about that at all. All right. Get out your pen and paper. Time to go over our picks for both the trucks and the O'Reilly Series race. I started you out with in the OnlyBulls Green Flag 150 at St. Petersburg truck race. I gave you Ben Rhodes over Caden Honeycutt at plus 100. I gave you Mr. Franchitti at a top 5 at plus 350. Sorry, my eyes were darting all over the place here. The Dario Franchitti top 5 plus 350. I also gave you Ty Majeski to win the race at plus 750 and Ben Rhodes as well at 14-1. Cody's truck picks included Justin Haley top 5 at plus 225. Also to win Group C over on Caesars at plus 250. He gave you the winning truck even at plus 145. And Timmy Hill top 5 at 18-1. Gave you Gio Ruggiero as an outright at 10-1, Justin Haley at 13-1, and then Andre Perez de Lara at 45-1 to win the Truck Series race. Moving over to the O'Reilly Series. In the Focus Health 250, I gave you Taylor Gray over Sammy Smith at minus 105. Sam Mayer, top 5 at 8-1. Actually, plus 750. I'm not sure why it says 8-1 on the screen, but wherever you find it, you find it. Actually, that's not even it as well. It's plus 275. The intern is fired. Zilisch to win at plus 100. Cody gave you William Swalich over Carson Kvapil minus 115. Brent Cruz top 5 at plus 250. Green at top 5 plus 650. William Swalich top 5 at 10-1. Outrights include Sam Mayer at 25-1. Ross Chastain at 35-1.
The watermelon, a nice touch there. The intern did a good job on my graphic, Rod.
Yeah, the intern sucked on mine. I'm going to definitely fire that dude. That guy's done.
TK with a good point. They cannot run the San Diego race because you're only allowed. The rule was weird there. I don't know. I think because like Jimmy Johnson is going to run the truck race and the Cup race, but I think if you're full-time declared, you can't run multiple series, I think is what it was. So Zilisch and SVG are obviously running for Cup Series points. They will not be in the O'Reilly race. So that might be the opportunity we get to see a Sam Mayer type step up. So yeah, great call on that, TK. I had forgotten that we'd gotten that clarification on the weirdness rules that is San Diego.
Yeah, but it's going to be fun because I'm going to be there watching, and we'll all have some fun living vicariously through me out there in Coronado.
Oh, that's going to be great for you.
I can't wait. All right. I can't wait to let you guys go and start placing the bets on these particular races as we turn our attention tomorrow to DFS and a little sprinkle of IndyCar in there as well. That's going to be a lot of fun talking St. Pete in St. Pete for IndyCar. Cody, save me.
Turns into Indiesburg for the weekend, Rod. So there you go. But yeah, excited to talk IndyCar bets tomorrow on the show. NASCAR DFS, of course, for COTA as well. So looking forward to it. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Don't forget, I got the IndyCar League on Grid Rival, $10 entry. Same for F1. Hit me up. You can find those in the pin posts at Husker_Zeeb, where you can find all my stuff, as well as at NASCAR Gambling, where you can find the show stuff. Like, subscribe, all the fun stuff the kids say. We appreciate it. See you guys tomorrow.
Follow me on Twitter at RJ Villagomez. You can find everything that I am up to in that one particular link as well. Thanks for everybody sticking around tonight and having fun with us. Join us again tomorrow, like Cody said, for some DFS and IndyCar talk. So until then, hell yeah, baby. Join us on our never-ending quest to make NASCAR betting fun again. Let's go racing and let it ride.